What is going on, my YouTube familia? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back into another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking and discussing the topic of low stomach acid or a weak LES, also known as a lower esophageal sphincter. But before we get into it, don't forget to always subscribe to my channel, like the video. Don't forget to turn on notifications so when I post anything, you get notified. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video and you find it very informative. Okay, so in my comments section, I've seen a lot of people when I talk about my acid reflux, regurgitations, etc. They always have, comments along the lines of like, maybe you have stomach acid, or like you do have low stomach acid, or just thinking that they know what I have, but in reality, they've only seen one video. But I thought it would be an interesting topic to discuss because I do get that very often on my channel. And then I'll discuss my experience with the other side of things, which is a weak LES, right? So for those of you guys that, I'm not aware of, or maybe are new to the acid reflux game, there is such thing as people having low stomach acid, and sometimes that actually cures your acid reflux. Now, I'm going to explain to you something real quick, but by any means, I am not a medical professional. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Just throwing that disclaimer out there just to kind of help you understand a little bit from what I've researched, from the people that I've experienced and read about, right? Because again, I think more than not, I have a lot more experience with acid reflux, not just because of my symptoms, but because of what people have commented on, thousands of comments on my channel. So I understand a little bit better, I guess, a different perspective, right? So to get into it, so there is such thing as a weak, as a low stomach acid. I'm not sure as to why people get it, but I've seen several videos, and I know when I saw it, I knew automatically that it didn't apply to me. And one of the simple reasons, as I kind of knew a little bit why. Well, first of all, I tried it, right? I tried implementing things into my diet that would make me have more acidic. For example, like apple cider vinegar, right? I've heard a lot of, even videos of a lot of good things that apple cider vinegar does for you, and I'm just like, okay, let's try that. But to be honest, anything that has to do with vinegar or adding more acid to my stomach makes me have more acid reflux, right? And even before my surgeries, and even afterwards, right? So essentially, from what I've understood, right, when you have low stomach acid, the LES, which is your lower esophageal sphincter, doesn't get triggered by that acid, so it what's the word I'm looking for here? It relaxes, therefore it opens and it allows things to come back up, right? So essentially, what the LES is waiting for, or is maybe it's looking out for, is for acid to hit that LES so it can keep closed, right? So if you are having low acid, and then when you add more acid to your stomach, if that helps you, then it's probably a sign that you do have low acid reflux. And if, from what I've understood and read, that if that's the case, right, where the acid touches your LES and then it helps it close, I think anatomically, I think I'm pronouncing that right. That's the way it's supposed to work, right? Your muscle's supposed to stay closed, right? Whenever you swallow, whenever you drink, the muscles contract, right? Like almost like a snake, and then your LES opens, and then it's supposed to stay closed. But if you have like a normal person or healthy person, healthy amount of acid, then it'll probably always stay closed. And on top of that, because you are healthy and you haven't had any surgeries or any issues, or maybe no hiatal hernias, then that LES is not weak, right? But this is where my problem on the other side comes in, right? Where I was diagnosed with a weak LES because I had a hiatal hernia. If you have a hiatal hernia, that means that muscle is ripped, or at least it's opened, and that muscle helps make the LES stronger. So it gives it some strength. So whenever it opens and closes, it stays closed and it opens. Well, in my case, because I already had surgeries, people sometimes understand or fail to understand that my problem now becomes mechanical. Now I can't heal it with, you know, adding more acid, or if you could take acid away, right? My problem has become mechanical because it surgically has mechanically something has been done to my sphincter. Something has been done to my hiatal hernia. So the only way now scientifically that I can get healed is more likely than not a surgery, right? Or at least like something that has to be done mechanically. And that's typically a surgery because they have to go in, open you up and fix that. Well, unless I haven't found something else that's causing some of my issues, which to this point we haven't, and I've tried a lot of different methods. Well, that's my issue with that, right? So understanding the difference between the mechanical side and also a weak or at least a low stomach acid is very important because you have to understand that one, if you after the surgery, after you get surgeries, now your problem becomes more mechanical. Now what you can do is try to manage your symptoms by doing things naturally, or natural ways, trying supplements, that can help your issues, which that's what I do a lot, to be honest, and it does help me a lot, at least helps me manage my life. But on the other hand, if you're still in the stages where you believe you haven't had the surgery yet, right, that you haven't had a procedure yet, maybe it could be that your acid reflux is caused by low acid. Now, it's rare of the people that suffer from this, right? Especially here in America, somebody low, suffering from low acid with the amount of junk food, the obesity rate that the Americans suffer from. It, all of that causes acid. All of that causes acid reflux, and most likely than not, and this is me just assuming, it's probably not being caused by low acid, but you never know. Maybe you can give it a try. There's a lot of help on YouTube videos as to why that is and what can cause it. And the crazy part about it, though, this is where suffering from this disease, because it is a disease, right? Gastroesophageal reflux disease. It's so crazy, right? For the lack of better words, because some of the symptoms that I've read for low stomach acid have also applied to me, right? Like the gassing, the bloating, or this and that, just many symptoms. But I'm like, but that didn't apply to me. That was not my case. So don't just assume that just because you hit some symptoms that may be the case. You have to kind of work from the bottom up, right? Try to find what's the root cause of your problem. It's one of the best things that I've felt like I've learned through these processes. Everybody's so different with this disease. Like I mentioned, some things I felt like apply to me, but it doesn't mean that I have low stomach acid. And that's going to be a lot of you guys in general. You might be suffering from acid reflux that may be caused by a totally different thing than this is. It's not going to just be fixed by diets. It might be a mechanical problem as well, right? Because let's say if you're overweight and maybe you don't take care of yourself, maybe you have bad habits in eating, maybe you have a rib hiatal hernia, something mechanical, right? Then you got to look for that route as well. Like trying to understand that one simple thing like low stomach acid, or on my end after I'm completed with my surgeries, doesn't mean that that's just one solution or this might be it. You got to find your way, either work backwards and take mental notes and kind of reverse engineer the things that you are suffering from. And the reason I'm making this video so people can understand not just the differences, but also understanding that somebody like myself that already had the surgeries, even if it was low stomach acid, I promise you adding more acid is not gonna help me. You know what I'm saying? And even let me emphasize something else that's I feel like it's important. I know that it's not low stomach acid because anytime I add any type of acid to my stomach, right, I suffer from more acid reflux. This is not science. It's just, I'm telling you, it's just, it doesn't matter if I do, like, if I were to take strong medications, if I would to take anything that has vinegar in it, maybe excessive amount of lemon or lime, anything acidic or anything spicy, I'm gonna suffer from acid reflux, right? So that in itself just tells me, like, if by any chance I had a low stomach acid, it wouldn't be the case. But you guys can look into that if you haven't had the surgery, if you haven't had the procedure, maybe it could be that. Although again, I haven't met too many people that low stomach acid is the case. And for some reason, a lot of people mention that, but I don't know. I'm not sure as to why. I'm not sure if that's one of like the first videos or like first resources people run to. But a lot of the cases from what I've seen, and this is just my experience, by the way, guys, from the people that I have commented on YouTube, from the people that have came across my videos, from the people that I'm like the websites that I'm in on Facebook and all the forums and stuff like that, like the sites, the help groups on Facebook. It's rare that I hear somebody say like it's low acid, it's low acid. Now it happens. Don't get me wrong. Again, it happens. It could be your case. Check it out. You never know. But I feel like it's so rare, but more often than not, I get that a lot. Like the people that have had surgeries, right? Like myself and other people, I don't think it's ever been because they had for the most part, like such an amount of low stomach acid. And if low stomach acid is your problem, then God bless you. Like seriously, you should feel blessed because that means you get to, try to add more acid into to your stomach, and then just so you can literally tell the LES, hey, listen up, bro, close up, right? There's acid in my stomach. There's plenty of acid. So, just kind of giving it signals to just close up, which is great. It should be a blessing if I'm being honest with you. If I suffer from that, I will be, to be honest, I know this sounds very bad, but I'll be happy because it will solve a lot of my problems. But in my case, it's not, if that makes sense. And I don't want to keep continuing to sound like I'm rambling, but I am coming from somewhere, and hopefully it makes sense to you guys. So, for the people that are on my channel who subscribe, you guys have to understand, there's different sides. And this is just two things. This is two sides. So many more things go into acid reflux. So many more things go into gastroesophageal reflux disease. I mean, goodness, man. Bile reflux. I mean, sometimes you have ulcers that maybe you take care of, or bacteria, H. pylori, to begin. So if you're listening to this and you recently started suffering from acid reflux, start doing your homework, start taking mental notes. And even if you have been suffering for a while, there's nothing wrong with continuing to take mental notes and continuing to figure out what causes it and what doesn't sometimes. And again, I think the word disease is correct for this, for these type of health issues, because even if I sometimes, and people can vouch for this, even if you follow a perfect plan that you believe helps you, sometimes your acid reflux just acts up. Sometimes your regurgitation just acts up and you don't understand why. You probably ate something so many times and it never gave you problems. And all of a sudden, bam, it gave you a problem. And you wonder what the hell just happened. Really, what just happened? But it's because it's a disease. Sometimes your own body, sometimes you don't even know when it's going to act up. And unfortunately, that's the disease we have to suffer with. But at least when you're able to manage it a little bit better, you can control sometimes the outcomes. You can put yourself in situations where maybe you won't suffer so much from the acid reflux or regurgitation and stuff. Does that make sense? So helping managing that has helped me in my journey. And I feel like it's important to take those steps because you have to really be like locked into what your body is telling you. I've always told people this: remember that your body speaks to you. So if you run across my channel, you run across my videos, remember that your body speaks to you before, typically, from my experience, it speaks to you before it gets worse. I know that it spoke to me, but I never really paid attention to it because, the outside things of life, like work, family, school, you name it, whatever you're going through outside of life, it's more important than your health until your health and your body lets you know, nah. Here I am. This is what you let happen. And here we are. You know what I mean? Very unfortunate, but I feel like it's a lesson a lot of us have to learn the hard way. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'm speaking a lot of my mind on it. Maybe sometimes a little bit of my experience, and then a little bit of what I've seen, trying to keep you guys, give you guys a lot of information, to be honest. It may be a lot sometimes, but it is a lot. This disease is a lot. Everything is a lot. There's not one solution for everybody, and there won't be. So I think the sooner we start realizing and having that mindset, a lot of us will benefit, and then you'll start growing from there. So I'll leave you guys with that. Remember, don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have, by the way, I want to mention, if you have anything that you would like to share in the comment section, something that has helped you, always write it down. Always type it. You never know who you can help. Even if it doesn't help me, it could help somebody else. And to me, that's a blessing. And second of all, I actually learn from you, right? Just like maybe you're learning something from me, I am also willing to learn from you, because then I can bring this and I can share it to the world, just like I'm doing now with what I've heard a lot and what I've experienced. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of each other. Peace and love. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. You know what I mean? Like the video, like the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications so you can get notified whenever I go live. And familia, with all good love, I see you guys on the next one. Take care of each other.